Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing. I'm here today to potentially make a box for these Mentos because it is Wednesday, it is box day. But this is the third time I had to do this tutorial because the first time I put 3/4 of an inch here, but I put 3 1/4. So like the paper was super huge and I was like, what in the world? And honestly, I didn't notice it until I started cutting. And then the second time I cut this too small, and so the middle was too small. So I don't know. We're going to try this again, okay? I already know my measurements because, like I said, this is the third time I'm doing it. So my left to right is 3/4. My up and down is 5 1/2. And my thickness is 3/4. So 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, 3/4. I guess I should tell you what box we're making. We are using the yellow box, which is the lidded box template. This is an old school pull off the top box, okay? My left to right is 3/4. My up and down is 5 1/2. So that equals 2 1/4 by 7. Nope, not even going to pretend to use the calculator. And you're going to score it on all 4 sides at 3/4 of an inch, okay? We're going to cut the bottom out and then we're going to discuss the top, okay? The top is a little bit different. So 2 1/4 by 7. Scored at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. So 1, 3/4, oops, 3/4 and 3/4. Okay, this is our bottom. I'm going to mark it as bottom, put it to the side. Alright, so our top needs to be ever so slightly bigger. Some people like the full 1/8 of an inch bigger. I go less than 1/8 of an inch. It's really your preference. You can go the 1/16 of an inch. I kind of go the 1/16 of an inch, sometimes a little bit less, but here's 2 1/4. Oops. And I go in between these two marks right here. So in between the 2 1/4 and this 1/16 mark. Okay, I go in between. You can go all the way up to the 1/8 if you want to, or stay at this tick mark or go a little bit less. It's really up to you how you want it. Your box is going to work any of the ways. It just depends on how tight you want your box. So my lid, I'm pulling out just a little bit. And then I'm going to go to the 7. I like to go I use the centimeters when I'm doing the box lids. And I go at 1 centimeter after the mark. So like this one would be 7 inches and 1 centimeter. Or 17 point something centimeters. I don't know. That's how I do my lids. The mark plus 1 centimeter. I know. All non-Americans are cringing by that. But, oops, it is what it is. You're going to score on all 4 sides at 3/4 of an inch. Before you score, make sure you put it at the right measurement. So 3/4, 3/4, 3/4, and 3/4. Okay? Doesn't matter which one you work on first. So I will work on the top since it's right here. Go ahead and bone folder varnish. Okay, so now take your paper and your squares. It doesn't matter where you, like I put this one's going to be the long way, so I'm just going to cut into that first score line, miter, miter, cut off the bulk. Come down here, score line, miter, miter, bulk. What you do to the top, you need to do to the bottom and vice versa. Score line, miter, miter, bulk. Score line, miter, miter, bulk. Okay. Tabs in, glue or tape, whatever you want. Just unclogging my glue. Okay. So glue. I just filled this thing and it's almost gone. You can work with 1 tab at a time, 2 tabs at a time, all 4 tabs, it don't matter. Line it up. I'm only going to work with these 2 right this second because it's a small little box. It's only 3/4 of an inch. Okay. You do the same thing. Get your glue on your tabs. You know what? I didn't fill this one up. That's why it's acting up. I filled this one. I'm like, I know I just filled this up like last week. Okay. And bring your edges together. This is our top. So I'm going to let it dry. I'm going to put it over here. We're going to come into our bottom. You know what? I'm not even going to confuse you. We're just going to cut the same sides. So cut up, miter, miter, bulk. Oh, you know what? Let's varnish. It honestly doesn't matter if you varnish before or after you do your cutting. It's just as easier to fold when it's all one comprehensive piece. Okay. So back to the long side, right? Yep. Cut up. Miter, cut off the bulk. What you do to the bottom and you do to the top, vice versa. Score line, varnish, 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 miter, miter. I need to go to bed, it's late. Score line, miter, miter. These ones, I typically don't go slow on these boxes. I mean, right now I'm going slow because I'm tired, but this is the original box that you learned how to make in kindergarten if you're my age or older. You definitely taught us. I don't know about these new kids. I don't know what they're learning in school, but I know for us, we learned box making in art class. Okay. And just go ahead and line up your seam with your cut edge. Okay. This is our bottom, so I'm going to let that dry. Get our little candies here, pop it in, get our smidgy bit lid, and put it on. See how mine, I still have to kind of force it just a little bit. That's how I like my boxes. I like it a little bit tight. If you do 1/8 of an inch, you won't have to like do that force. It'll slide right on. But sometimes if it slides right on, it'll slide right on out. So I like that little tiny bit of resistance. That's my preference. And plus my box is wet, so I gotta be careful. But there you go. Alright guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.